Okay, guys, welcome back for another exciting moment. Today is especially exciting because today we have reached the $200,000 mark on my account. As you can see over here, noticed on the left, it says my total assets, actually 207,000. And I'm sure we're gonna add about another 3 or 4,000 when we roll over into the my team section and pick up some of these residuals. I'm still admitting people in. So before I get started, what I do want to begin by saying is that, well, let me just tell you a little bit about myself and then I'll roll right into it, of course. My name is Jay, and I'll be talking to you today about this wonderful platform. A little bit of my history is I started to invest and dabble in the markets, actually in the Forex markets, about 8 years ago, okay? And between now and then, I've been evolving. So in the beginning, I started learning how to trade in the Forex markets. It took me about a solid year, some real intense type of studying. It took a lot. It took a lot of effort. It took a lot of struggle, but I became profitable and I began to teach. So I started a Forex educational service. And together with that, I began a Forex signal service. And then as the years went on, I kept evolving, and then I started doing account management. And then we started dabbling in some platforms, Forex platforms. We started doing PAM accounts, MAM accounts. We started offering different EAs. All right. We had like 5 or 6 EAs to choose from that you could actually get on my website and kind of rent. And it was pretty cool, And then during that process, probably about 3 years ago, we started to dabble in the automated trading industry. And we started to look at hands-free things that we can get into and invest and not actually have to stay up late and work or do anything like that. And so that became the center of our attention about 3 years ago. And so nowadays, we're able to offer between 5 and 8 different investment platforms, all which are pretty good. And then within these is the one that I'm presenting to you today. So not only am I going to do like a very small presentation, I'm also going to kind of review it, even though the last Zoom that I did review it, but now we're on a different level. We've crossed the 1 month mark. Okay, we've crossed into a balance that it's amazing. So as I tell you the story, you're going to realize how this all went down. But before I tell you how this particular platform came to be, I wanna stop and just emphasize is the word. I want to emphasize strongly on these 3 principles, guys, because we've been doing this for about 8 years, and the guys that have followed me for these 8 years, and I have a pretty large social media presence, have learned what I'm about to tell you. And so none of us actually suffer any real losses. Sometimes we'll break even, sometimes we'll make money, and then something may happen. But the thing is, we do our due diligence, we do our investigations, we do the best that we can to investigate some of these platforms that we involve ourselves in order to just be as effective as we can coming in. So we have to come in to these platforms and to these investment opportunities that the market provides or the crypto market provides, whether it's Forex, binaries, options, metals, futures, crypto, it doesn't matter. In the market, you have to have that principle, that mindset that I'm about to tell you. The first one is, guys, please, 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 I always say it, starting my Zooms, only invest what you're willing to risk, okay? Because if you invest what you're willing to risk, you're gonna be able to sleep at night. You're not gonna worry about that particular platform, and you're not gonna go crazy about it. You're not going to be looking at your phone every 5 or 10 minutes to see if everything is still okay. These things are important because they have to do with your mental and emotional health. And they have a lot to do with keeping your financial status intact. Okay. So please invest only what you're willing to risk. The second thing is don't put all your eggs in one basket, guys. Okay. This is one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of people do. And I run into it a lot. Previously, or not even so previous, actually currently, we actually jumped in an opportunity that presented itself back in late August. Not going to mention any names, but I'm sure that all of you that are coming in know what I'm talking about. Okay. And even though we did all of our due diligence, and even though there's nothing really bad to say about this particular platform, it did come to a halt. And so not anyone in my downline in particular, because I've always educated my guys, and we're all good, But from that particular platform, I got a lot of people coming because of the connections that I had with the top, with the company itself, with the broker itself. So I got a lot of people coming in and, kind of asking for help and involving themselves. And, even though they weren't part of my downline, I just have a kind heart. So I actually started to help people with withdrawal problems, KYC problems, email problems, Google Authenticator problems, all kind of problems, little problems, big problems. They were all getting resolved at some point or another. But it did get to the point where about 3 weeks ago, everything came to a halt. And a lot of these guys started to freak out. Like I said, these guys were just coming. I don't know where they were from. Some people were from India. Some people were from Africa. Other people were from different countries, and I'm global, but none of these guys were my guys. Even though I helped them, they were all freaking out. And it was heartbreaking, honestly. And it was because of this number 2 principle. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, which means you should diversify, guys. You should learn to have 6, 7 different opportunities that you're involved in, because if something gets stuck or even goes bad, then you're at least getting profit daily from different platforms, from different opportunities that are presented. Okay. And it's very important for that to happen. So, it was a heartbreaking situation, which currently it still is. And a lot of people are still waiting to see what's going to happen. And we still don't know if they're actually going to fix these things and get these things up and running again, which we've seen. And in my experience, I've seen that happen. And I've also seen, the stall tactics, and little by little, they keep stalling and making excuses. And then all of a sudden, if they're unregulated, they just disappear. If they're regulated, if they try to disappear, then we hear the news about such and so-and-so's and the top owners and admins of such and such, company getting arrested. Okay. And so that's probably what's going to happen if they don't step up, fix, or pay. They need to either fix and continue, or pay everyone what's owed to them and let them go. Because if not, unfortunately, we will see it on the news, and we will have a chance to recover some of those funds. But that's beside the point, guys. So the third thing I want to talk about is understanding that in the market, like I said before, whether it's in the financial market, whether it's Forex, whether it's metals, futures, binaries, options, whether it's crypto, all right, seldom, rarely will you find something that has been going for as long as I've been investing. And I've been investing in these markets for about 8 years, and I've yet to see something last that long. Okay. I've been in and out of certain platforms, in and out of certain brokers, in and out of certain opportunities. And though I've seen things last 2 and 3 years, I've yet to see something last 8, 10 years, and what have you. And that's just a given. And I'm not saying that there's not opportunities out there like this. I am sure there are. Okay, guys, I am very sure that there are out there, and we will find some. I mean, we're already involved in a few that have actually crossed the 2-year mark, which is good because we started kind of dabbling in the automated trading sector of the market, the hands-free, so to speak, right? About 3 years ago. And so it brings me to the number 3 is understand that nothing lasts forever, guys. Nothing lasts forever. Not in my experience as far as the markets, Well, if you go outside of the markets, of course, you have real estate, right? You can buy a piece of property and then hold it and maybe sell it later for something more. You can buy a house, fix it up, sell it. You can get a franchise. These are solid investments. I'm not talking about those kind of investments. I'm talking about some of the higher risk, more profitable now type of, everything that's higher risk makes more money, but you have to approach it the right way. And so that's why I emphasize and I plead with you, all of you that are just now starting to realize these things, to please invest only what you're willing to risk. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, and understand that in this market, nothing really lasts forever. Okay? So with that understanding, you're going to make calculated risks, very wise choices. Okay? Don't come at it like you're gambling and you're putting it all on this one casino slot or on this other. Don't do that to yourself, okay? No matter how well you've investigated, no matter how long the platform has lasted up to now, you still have to make a wise approach. Okay, guys? So with that said, this platform is super awesome. Up to now, it's been very, very great experience, very user-friendly. And to make a long story short, I have a buddy who lives in Dubai, actually moved out there because he was making so much money that he wanted to avoid paying the taxes on capital gains. So he moved to Dubai, him and some buddies. And all these guys, the one buddy of my buddy has about 4.6 million in this platform, okay? And these guys are withdrawing about 500K every weekend, okay? Every weekend. And so, my buddy tells me about a month or so ago, actually about a month and a half ago, he says, "Hey, Jay, man, I've been talking to a buddy of mine. He had reached out about 2 years ago, and he told me about this platform they were getting ready to invest in. And he told me a little bit about it, and I was like a little bit interested. And my buddy, he's been following me for since I started, probably 5 or 6 years ago, actually. I started about 8 years ago. But he's been following me and involving himself and getting into everything I get into for about the last 5 years. And he's made a lot of money with us. And so has a lot of people that have actually been following us that long. So the buddy says, "Hey, did you ever jump on board?" And my buddy says, "You know what? I got sidetracked, flew over my head. I completely forgot. How's it going, by the way?" And he says, "Well, I started with about 5K, and a few months into it, I was able to compound my account up to about 4.6 million. I say give or take about a year or so, all right? Maybe he had some downline and there were extra commissions coming in or whatnot, but something in less than about a year, he got his account up to about $4.6 million, which was amazing to hear. And he sent us some proof and stuff like that. My buddy showed me a screenshot of his account, and yeah, there was evidently 4.6 million in his account, and these guys are withdrawing 500K. So my buddy got excited. He said, "Man, listen, you know what? Get me the link. I'm gonna go ahead and jump on board." But before he did it, he actually approached me. He said, "Jay, listen, I know that you're always looking for stuff and you're really good at kind of researching. And I want to bring you something that one of my buddies who's out in Dubai, he has a couple of millionaire buddies out there and they're all investing in different things. And he gave me this. So this was it. So what I'll start doing is I'll show you exactly what I did. So I looked up the information. So I kind of got in, signed up, right? And then when you go to this home page over here of the platform, this is a very user-friendly platform, by the way. And then you go to where it says About Us, you'll notice that they have a registration in the US. Okay, it's called Crypto OTC, and the website is the COTPS. Okay, so when you look, they have a registration in the US, which I checked out, official. Everything is good. They even have a regulation certificate through FinCEN, and their MSB number is right here. I'm going to highlight it for you guys. Let me see if I can highlight it here. Oh, I guess I'm not able to. Well, it's this one right here. And you can actually go to the website, to the FinCEN website, and actually see. Lately, just recently, probably about, I want to say about a week or two ago, they opened up in Canada. Before, Canada was restricted, and they were able to obtain a FinTrack regulation in Canada. So now they're registered in Canada as well, which was amazing to hear, and it was good news. So when you go to the About Us page, you will notice their FinCEN, right, certificate, which is the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network Department of the Treasury. Guys, let me tell you something about FinCEN. They are no joke. One phone call to complain about any company that's registered with them, and it opens up immediately an FBI investigation, just so you know. And these are facts that you want to hear. These are facts that make you confident and help you make a choice, okay? So they have a FinCEN regulation certificate. They also have a FinTrack regulation certificate. And so when you go through here, you kind of see all their information, you know, bada bing, bada boom, great stuff. And I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I just want to let you know how to actually obtain the information so that you can actually do your due diligence. So I'll go back over here to this section, and I'll tell you the story of how I'm going to click on this details of fund. I'm going to run through this as quickly as possible. So the first day, what I did was, of course, I read all the information. I kind of verified all of that, registered in the US. They're registered now in Canada. They hold a FinTrack in Canada regulation certificate. They also hold a FinCEN regulation certificate in the US. And so I threw $100 at it on March the 1st. Now, mind you, these guys have been eating off this platform for the last 2 years. So first thing is first, the longevity and the consistency is there. And then the registrations and the regulations are also intact. Now, there are some things that I ran into that some people may think is crucial for decision making. And for me, it isn't. I've been doing this for 8 years and I've seen it all. And some of those little things are very minor and they don't bother me at all. But as far as the platform goes and their registration goes, everything is intact and the platform is very user-friendly, high in security. So I deposited $100 on March the 1st. And the next day, I was clicking on the button because the whole concept here, we're going to jump back a little bit here and there, right? The whole concept here is when you go to this transaction hall area, this button that you see right here allows you to manually do the work, okay? And so when you click on this immediate competition for orders, what you're doing is you're activating the arbitrage, the crypto arbitrage system. Now, the word arbitrage comes from a deficiency in price or taking advantage of a deficiency in price or a deficiency in time lag. In the Forex industry, according to using an arbitrage system on a broker, like let's say a Forex broker, right? So what happens with arbitrage, which is highly not allowed, you have to be in good standing with the broker, and they have to be able to provide a high frequency trading stream to plug you into in order to use a high frequency trading algorithm, right? So an arbitrage system, what it does is in the Forex market, it sees the market price, right? The real market price. And there is always a lag between the real market price and the broker's price, right? So there's a lag. So if GBP USD is breaking out in the London session or in the New York session, and there's a 5-second lag in the buy, the arbitrage system detects it. The market price is the real market price is flying, and there's a 5-second lag on the broker's end. The arbitrage system takes the buy, and 5 seconds kicks in, takes the buy for 4 or 5 seconds, and pulls out. It's a flawless system that can only be, interfered by the broker delaying the seconds or the execution speed, which is what happens with a lot of people that get a hold of these systems, okay? But in the crypto world, it's a much different concept and a much more allowed concept. So what's going on with this platform is that our balances are held in a USDT TRC20. Now, if you know about the USDT coin, it's a stable coin, guys. It's dollar for dollar. It doesn't fluctuate. It doesn't break upward. It doesn't crash. So it minimizes the risks involved versus a floating coin on an arbitrage system in the crypto industry. So here we have a very, very unique system that is very attractive because there's no danger in a crash happening with the USDT coin, or if it breaks upward, you won't be able to benefit or anything like that, but you're not gonna lose because the USDT is dollar for dollar. It doesn't fluctuate. Now, what does happen is that this arbitrage system in this exchange is actually plugged into a wide range of coin exchanges globally. And so it can detect who has the USDT coin for more expensive, okay? And so we have the advantage because since we're operating in this exchange, we get that USDT for the cheapest price, and then we sell to the highest bidder. And so for 2 hours and 5 or 10 minutes, your money will be in the transaction area over here where it says the transaction area, okay? So you got like your wallet, and then over here it says in the transaction. So the wallet has $207,000, and in the transaction is empty. I stopped my algorithm, my hands-free feature, because I'm gonna show you how that works toward the end. And so what happens is you hit this button, I'll give you an example, right? And then you get an opportunity to actually sell, right? So if you hit sell, then you're agreeing to that. And then the amount of money that it's actually, asking, it's gonna go transfer itself over there. So we'll just cancel that, but I just wanted to show you how it actually goes, how it does. So we'll see what it really does later when I show you the hands-free feature. So that's what it does. So manually, the first day I was just there clicking that button every 2 hours, trying to make it happen. And so we'll go back over to that section so I can show you in the details of funds, which show you the transactions of my deposits and withdrawals. So as I was telling you before, I deposited $100, and the next day I had made about $1.14. So I said, okay, let's test the withdrawals now. And so I did. And so it was instant, guys, because the platform is on a decentralized blockchain system. So what happens is if there's someone in full control of the funds, like some brokers or some exchanges, then you need the approval on the end of the admins to press a button and approve pretty much your withdrawal. And this takes time. So that's where the delays come in the withdrawals. With this system, it is not so. Once you get your withdrawal in the process, you get it's instant deposits and instant withdrawals. Literally, you get your withdrawals in 3 or 4 minutes. It's like boom, sometimes even in seconds. The only delays are in minutes, and it's because of probably how many people are actually putting in a withdrawal at that time. And that's the only delay that you may experience. Other than that, it's instant. So as you can see here, I pulled out the whole amount because I wanted to make sure, okay, are they going to restrict me from anything? No, they didn't at all. So it was instant, boom. So I got happy about that. And I said, okay, I'm throwing 5,000 in. There you see it right here, 5,000. So I threw 5,000 in it. At this point, I was kind of tired of pressing that button, guys. So I got a hold of some of my programmer buddies who love to code stuff up, and I always use them. They're part of my developers team when I was developing different EAs and different algorithms and different high frequency trading things. And thanks to my buddy Matt and thanks to my buddy Legend, they came through and they created an algorithm that would actually press the button for you. And I went ahead and put it in. And for that whole week, as you can see here, I deposited on the 2nd of March, 5,000. And by the 9th, I already had another 5,000 on top of that with 300 and something dollars. So I had a total of 10,300 and some dollars in there. So I withdrew 5,388 with 86 cents. And guys, immediately it hit my coin wallet like hot pancakes. Pow. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And another thing that I noticed about the security, it's high security in the platform. I love the security. So I was loving the facts, the registrations, the regulations. I was loving the fact that, you know, it was user friendly. So I was like reviewing the whole thing. When it came to the withdrawals and the performance, I was completely blown away. When I went to do the withdrawal the second time, because it was such a large amount, there was a facial recognition that I had to go through. And I could literally see the representative on the other side via video through the camera while I was trying to get my face recognized. They were back there looking at the picture of my KYC ID, right? And they were like, okay. And then I hit the button to confirm and submit my picture, and the confirmation with my transaction password and everything that comes into play. Was a 3-step security. It was my transaction password, then it was the OTP code that you get on your phone, which makes it hard for anyone to hack and withdraw or pull anything out of because you're the only one with the phone. So you're the only one that can actually verify the 6-digit code that you get on your phone. If you get an OTP code on your phone and you haven't done anything, that's an alert to you that someone's messing around with your account. And of course, they won't be able to do nothing without that code. So all you got to do is go in there and switch your password, and done deal. So it was amazing. And then the facial recognition was the third part of the high security. And I just wind up being blown away by the whole thing. So one thing led to another. And I withdrew the 5,000, got excited, and threw 20,000 at it. Now there's 25K in my account. And it's on autopilot. I got this algorithm just going, boom, 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 boom. I'm able to sleep. I'm not losing any cycles, because mind you, when your funds come back into the wallet area after 2 hours and 5 or 10 minutes, then what you're looking at is about a 0.3% gain on your fund balance that was in the transaction area, which if you think about it, it could be up to 12 opportunities per 24 hours, right? 2 hours, right? 24 hours, you got 12 opportunities. So if you do the math on 12 opportunities, you're winding up with about 3.6% gains a day, guys. But of course, I'm going to be realistic with you today. That is not the case, because as I've noticed, it takes, sometimes you'll get all those funds back in your wallet in 2 hours exactly, but other times it could take 5 more minutes or 10 more minutes. So the algorithm is programmed to trigger at about 2 hours and 13 minutes, which makes you lose about a cycle a day. Okay, so you're going to wind up with 10 to 11 cycles on autopilot, which is still magnificent. You're going to still wind up with about 3.2, 3.3%, 3.4% a day. okay, which is absolutely amazing. On another note, if we look at the worst case scenario, we're going to do some math, and it's going to be really cool when you see that math, because I provided a nice little compound calculator, and you're going to actually see what the possibilities are on a worst case scenario. So guys, I threw 20,000 at it on the 10th, and on the 13th, I started withdrawing. I withdrew 6,000. Then on the 17th, I withdrew another 14,000, and there's my 20,000. So my initial investment of 25K are back, and then after that, I just continued. I withdrew on the 21st, 12,500 over here. On the 28th, I withdrew 6,100 over here. And then after that, it was just 20,000, right? 20,000 on the 1st of April and 20,000 on the 4th of April. And today, sometime this afternoon, I will be withdrawing another 20K because we have hit the 200K mark. And actually is about 207K over there. Mind you, I still have some stuff in the residual area that we're going to show you in a moment. And so this is how everything goes down. Full transparency. You can see my deposits, my withdrawals, right? Deposit, withdrawal, deposit, withdrawal, 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 and withdrawal from then on in, and that's what I'm talking about. When you invest and make calculated risk, the first thing you're looking for is getting that initial investment back. And after that, all you have to do is make as much as you can, and be wise about it. Of course, be wise about it. You want your stuff to kind of, double. And the concept is simple because on a compound calculator, when you do the math at 3.6, in 30 days, and that's just using a raw balance, not factoring in the compound factor, right? You're going to wind up with about 108%. But if you say to yourself, okay, we're really realistically making between 3.3% and 3.3%, you're still winding up with about 100%. But if you factor in the fact that every time your funds come back from the transaction area into your wallet, you're bringing in 0.3% gains, which gives you about a 3.3% a day. And that's going back in now, you're looking at a compound factor, guys. Now we're looking between 150 and 160, or maybe even 70% a month. So what does that leave me with? It leaves me with this strategy. If every 30 days, my account is going to make between 150 and 170%, what I want to do to be smart is the first opportunity I get, I'm going to get my initial investment back. Okay, that's the strategy. The second thing I'm going to do is, let's call it a worst case scenario of 50%. So if I put $5,000 in, let's just say, for example's sake, right? $5,000 go in 30 days, I have, 12,500, let's just say, right? 150%, right? So now I leave the 5,000, my account just doubled, right? The first thing you did was get your initial investment back. And then when it doubles, then you're going to take that 2,500, which is the 50% that's left over, and withdraw it for yourself. Might not seem like much, right? Might not seem like much the first time, but remember, you got your investment back. Now you got 2,500 that month, 30 days, boom. So now your 10,000 turns into 20,000, it doubles, and what's left over? 50% worst case scenario, that's $5,000 that you're withdrawing that month. Now look at what happens the third month. Now you have, it goes from 10 to 20,000, right? And what's left over? 10,000, which is the 50% left over, worst case scenario. Now you're withdrawing 10,000. Now what happens the fourth month? 20 turns into 40, and you have 50% left over, which means you have $20,000 left over. Are you getting what I'm saying, guys, right? So after a few months, you're starting to withdraw big, and at the same time, your account is doubling. And by it doubling, if you put $5,000 in there, you're going to reach a very, very high balance within the first 12 months. I'll give you an even better example on a lower scale. Let's just call the numbers out this way. If I put $1,000 in, what will it do during the month? Okay, just without factoring what I'm gonna take out, let's just count how it's gonna double. All right. So look, the first month, 2,000, it doubles, right? Then 4,000. Count with me. 8, then 16, then 32, then 64, then 128,000, then 256,000, then 512,000. Now it's going to go to 1.24 million, then 2.48 million, and then on the 12th month, you're winding up with 4.96 million, guys. And I didn't even tell you about how you'll be withdrawing the 50% worst case scenario after each 30 day. Okay, so imagine how exciting that is. This is why I gave this platform a solid 10 for user friendly, a solid 10 for the facts of registrations and regulations that bring the risk down, for the risk getting lower because it's actually working with the USDT, which is a stable coin. Solid 10, guys. For user friendliness, a solid 10. For security, come on, you got 3 different securities that you're going through when you're withdrawing, and the performance. So I gave security a solid 10, guys. I'm excited about this platform. I'm very, very excited to see where we're going with this, and hoping to get I'm hoping to make a lot of money with this, just as much as you are. Now, another great area to look at is, well, how about the customer service? Listen, guys, I had a little issue where one of my guys had signed up under my link, had 2 buddies, and they by mistake got a hold of my link and signed up under me. So I went to the home section over here, in the home section right here, right? And I hit customer service. And the moment I started to chat about the issue, they started to respond. Look at this, all right? They started to respond, bang, bang, bang. And if you look at the time, they started to respond really quickly, bam, bam, bam. I was like amazed, of course. So they gave me the answers that I needed. And I told my buddy, hey, listen, this is what you got to do. This is really simple stuff. No worries, bada bing, bada boom. So I gave customer service a solid 10, guys. I mean, this is totally amazing what's going on with this platform. And like I said before, there's some silly things that I looked and I found that, of course, a lot of people, blow out of proportion. I'm just going to be fully transparent. One of the things is when you go to their official website and they give you the pictures of their staff, you have some pictures that you can actually, maybe highlight the picture, copy it, go to a website and look into it. There's a website that you can actually that investigates that for you, and you'll see how many websites that picture was used in. This is our staff, and then you have some professional looking people. Listen, I've done that with my website. I put a pretty girl with a headset. She's my customer service. She is nowhere near being my customer service. There is no one in my 4XLG office downtown Orlando. It's a virtual office. These are little things that are insignificant to me out of experience, guys, because when I registered my company 8 years ago, I had to open up either a location, which was going to cost me $2 or $3 grand a month, which I didn't want to, at that moment, I didn't want to spend that much money for what? So I got myself a virtual office to register my business. And every time you go to that address, there is a receptionist. And all she says is, Mr. Rivera is not here. You have to make a personal appointment with him. So please call him because you're not going to be able to find him here. He is too busy. And so that's all they say. But it's just, I pay every month about $100 just to have that address. I do receive mail there. I can get together with people there and meet because they have meeting rooms that I can rent. It's all for marketing and registration purposes, which, of course, this platform, being that it's a Chinese hedge fund, That's exactly what they did. So don't look to drive over to their office that's registered in the US. Its address, it's a virtual address used only for the purpose of registration, guys. Same thing for Canada, and same thing for many brokers. A lot of people get all bent out of shape. I drove to the location over in Canada and there was nothing there. There was some lady, and they don't know any better. But I am educating you today, and I am letting you know these things are very insignificant. And as far as the website not having their actual pictures, people do that for their websites. They're not putting their own pictures. They probably don't look as professional as some of these pictures. It's not that they're hiding or they're hiding something or they're gonna scam or they don't want nobody to see their face. Listen, let me tell you something, guys. When a company is registered and they are regulated, the regulators require for every representing admin or agent of the company to give a background check. On top of that, they have your information. They know who you are. They know where you live. But on top of that, some regulators require the full activity of everything that's going on in your company. If it's a broker or a coin exchange, they want to know what exactly are you offering, how you're doing it, what are you offering your members, how are you actually making that money? So all of this has already been investigated. So don't let, and it's totally up to you. It's at your discretion. If you believe that that is significant, then you by all means don't have to jump into the platform. I am telling you by experience that I myself have a virtual office for registration purposes and for marketing purposes. But if you go to that place, like I told you and explained, those are the things that you're going to run into. And as far as a picture goes, you can probably jump on my website and see a picture of a lady with a little headset. That lady does not work for me, by the way. It's just there. Okay, so no one's hiding anything and so it's like some of these guys get all paranoid and then they start throwing some YouTube videos and they start saying how they copy pasted and checked out the pictures and the owners and this is our staff area and all those pictures come out in 100 other websites. Of course they do. And the other 100 websites are also companies that are running fine. You know what I mean? So that's not something that I think is significant enough to disqualify this platform at all. So those are the small things that I've run into. And honestly, I can't even classify or even review that because that's something that's normal. Virtual office is normal. Putting pictures that are not your pictures up there for, pretty presentation of your website, that's normal. For some people, they don't think so. So that's that. But I gave a solid 10 on everything else. The performance, solid 10. Security, user-friendly. Everything. Over here, of course, you have this area, your personal information, you click on it, you get to change your password, you get to do some modifications here. Like I can change the name without having to verify my OTP code. But if I'm trying to change my login password or my transaction password by the way, if you do jump on with whoever you're jumping on, make sure that your transaction password and your regular password are two totally different passwords, just for your own safety. I'm not worried about it because it's a very high secure platform. So I highly think, I don't think that anything's going to ever happen with a hacker or anything like that. They literally have to have your phone. Okay. So in this middle row, you'll notice, up here, recharge, right? If you click recharge, that's how you actually deposit. So you just copy this, you take it to your external wallet, make sure that your coin wallet that you're using every time you withdraw that you're gonna use, it supports the TRC20 network, which is the Tron network, and we're dealing with the USDT Tether, okay, Tether coin. So that's what that is. And then when you click on the withdrawal, of course, it takes you through the process of the withdrawal, okay? And that's that. So I told you, it's a 3-step thing. You transaction password, your facial recognition, and your OTP for your phone, high security. And there's a transfer area where if you have family members that have registered under your link and whatnot, you can actually transfer money easier than withdrawing to your coin wallet and then from your coin wallet sending it over or anything like that. Okay, guys? So that's what those three things are above. The recharge records, of course, is just going to show the records of your deposits. The identity authentication is required for making big withdrawals, and as you can see, mine says pass. When you do this, if you're registering new, make sure that you take a selfie with your ID or passport next to your face. Okay, don't make the mistake of putting your passport or ID in your hand and snapping a picture of it and putting it in and submitting it. That's not how it's done. You're gonna take a screenshot with your ID next to your face, and the KYC is done in minutes, guys. Amazing for the speed. And then when you want to invite your friends, all you're doing is clicking on invite your friends. You're gonna go down here and click here to copy, and it'll give you the URL of your referral URL to give to your friends and family, okay? And then on the other side over here, real quickly, because we're about to close this up, your withdrawal records, almost like the one that I was showing you, the only difference is it's not showing any of the deposits. It's just showing all of my withdrawals, okay? And there it is, just like when I showed you in the other side in the details of funds. The only difference in that is that in the details of funds, it shows the deposits and the withdrawals. And when you go to my team, which we're about to close, that's where you'll see the activity of your downline, okay? And as you can see, on my level 1, we already have 2,500 accumulated. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on that to receive it. And we're gonna go to level 2. And here we have another 2,400. And this is, of course, because of the people that I have under me and their performance. And I'm getting commissions on that. And you can find the commissions of that information when you go over into the other section that I showed you, where you copy your invite friends, right? And then here we have on level 3, we have $1,410. We'll receive that. And we'll come out of here. And of course, when you go to the invite friends, look, it shows level 1. So whoever you refer, you're gonna get 15% of. Whoever they refer, you're gonna get 10% of. And whoever your level 2 refers, you're gonna get 5% of. And there's actually, it didn't show up here at this very moment, but sometimes it'll pop in and you'll see an infinite level box right here, which I don't have yet. But, you know, it is said that you need a certain amount of level 1 funded referrals, which I have tons of. So I'm assuming that it's not 50 anymore. It's probably something closer to 500. But, you know, that's not written on concrete or stone. When I find out, I'll let you guys know what that is. And I think it also requires an upline to also be qualified in order to push a button on their end and qualify you for that infinite level, okay? So here we are, guys, back to the main area where all your transactions happen, and we see because we pulled in all of that money, now I am at 214 instead of 207. So let's check it out. How does the algorithm work? Okay, let's look at how awesome. And this is for everyone who joins with us, okay? And if you're already in my downline, what's gonna happen is your downline will provide this for absolutely free, guys. Now, if you wanna go ahead and pay for the pro version, you know, there's an area here where you got 99 loops, so everything of that. So there it is, guys. You know, I'm not sure where I left off, but I was saying about the script, right? We give it totally for free. All we would kind of require is a $500 balance in your COTPS account so that it's worth our time, okay? And so we'll give you the script, we'll give you the instructions, you get it, you know, and all of our downline has it for their downline and all that good stuff. It's free. Some people charge, you know, and you know what, everybody has a right to do it however they want it, but us here, as long as you're in our downline, as long as you sign up directly with us, you will receive it for free. And the only thing that you have to be aware of is that every time you put your funds, like it's on autopilot right now, I hit the play loop button, and all your funds go into the transaction area, that's considered one loop. So it's set for 99 and it doesn't go any higher on the free version, but you're more than, and then what happens is once the 99th loop is done, the play loop button comes available and you just go in your server and click it again. Okay, so you just got to kind of pay attention to it. What cycle am I in? You can always log in via RD client on your mobile. And if you're on the go, you don't have to worry about, I'm not home and I need to press that button. The 99th loop is going to be done and I'm at work. Hey, RD client, you sign into your server, hit that play loop button, voila, bada bing, bada boom, you're in it. And if you want to pay for the paid version of the iMacros, then you can actually add like 9,999 loops, which will give you probably like 2.5, 3 years worth of loops. So it's like unlimited because, you know, if you only got to press that play loop button every 2.5, 3 years, that's pretty good. And I think that the pro version is only 99 bucks. It's not something that we charge. We totally give it to you for free. It's something that you pay iMacros for, and it's just an upgrade to the free version, and you get the pro version, and that's all it is. So, and it's unlimited, you know? And so there it is, guys. The hands-free did its work, and now all the funds are over in the transaction area, and we're all done here. We're all done here. Last thing I want to do is kind of play a little bit with the concept of what are the possibilities, okay? What are the possibilities? So I give everybody, if you're in my update channel, okay, the COTPS hands-free update channel on the Telegram, you'll notice that I gave everybody a compound calculator that opens up on an Excel spreadsheet. And so all you have to do is put the balance in the date right here, right? So today is the 8th. So you go to the 8th column, you double click, and let's just say you put $500 in, which is the minimum requirement for us to give you the hands-free feature, right? Right. So let's look at what that looks like. Boom, all the numbers come up, okay? And so you double your account right here. So if we start today, 4/8, right? By next month, 5/3, which is approximately 20-something days, right? You double your money. So right here, you will go ahead. I'm going to make a withdrawal of $500, and then you're going to see that you got your initial investment back, and you double up again on the 25th of May. Now, if you continue to look, all right, through these scales, you will notice, and mind you, this is only based on the performance of the platform. This is not based at all or factoring in the commissions that you're making if you're inviting your friends and your families and you're marketing this because you're a networker and you know some guys who are networking and you're getting a team built. You're going to definitely, you know, move along way faster, as you've seen where my commissions were, you know, like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I don't know. It was a couple of thousands every 2 hours. I'm making about 10K minimum in commissions a day. I'm sure it's more than that. That's just me lowballing it. But on the platform alone, I'm making about 43, 44, or 4,500 a day. So if you're making commissions because you're networking and you're inviting people in with your referral link, these numbers, you know, we're not factoring in these numbers. So this is just based on the platform performance of a worst case scenario of 3%. If you notice up here, 3% is what I'm putting to factor it in, okay? And so you see right here, we made the withdrawal by the 25th of May. You already have doubled again. And, you know, if you look throughout these numbers, you'll notice, let's see, how you can make, let me see where it hits $1 million. So by June of next year, you'll hit $1 million with $500, guys. That's less than a year. With $500, less than a year, you are hitting 1 million, and that's you recovering your initial investment. And that's all I wanted to show you. All right. I don't want to put higher numbers in there. I'm giving you worst case scenario as I did from the beginning. Look, 3% worst case scenario, $500 minimum requirement to get our hands free, and you will make double by May 3rd if you sign up today, and by January of next year, you'll hit $1 million. Guys, it doesn't get any more exciting than that, okay? So with this, I'm actually concluding it. Like I said before, this is a presentation / celebration / review. We're celebrating the fact that we hit 200K on my account as of today. We're celebrating, we're presenting the opportunity to all of you who jumped on board today. And, we're presenting the whole thing. So presentation / celebration / review, I give it a solid 10, guys, especially with the consistency of 2 years plus, and all my buddies at Dubai, they all have, like, one guy has 9 million, another guy has 7 million, another guy has 5 million. My buddy's buddy has 4.6 million, and the other guys have 3 and 2 million. I'm looking to hit my million pretty soon. And I haven't even calculated how soon that'll be because I can't factor the commissions in there. So guys, with that being said, I leave you with this presentation / review / celebration, telling you that whoever invited you onto this call, get with that person, sign up today. Always remember the 3 principles that I told you from the beginning. Only invest what you're willing to risk. Don't put your eggs in all in one basket, and understand that nothing lasts forever, guys. Okay? So just remember, these things are very, very crucial so that you can make a wise and calculated risk and a wise and calculated decision. And with this, I leave you guys. Love you guys. Until the next time, I think tomorrow we're going to shoot for a Spanish Zoom. If not, we're going to actually start to do it back to back, like maybe Fridays. Every Friday, we're going to do this so that you can continue to invite your peoples. And during the week, if you're a leader and you want to do some Zooms and invite me on there, I'll come on there as your special guest and speaker and blow it up for you so that all your peoples can sign up right under you guys. The good thing about me is that I don't bring attention to myself. This particular presentation is for you to use as a tool as well. And we'll upload it to our YouTube. And you'll notice that on our YouTube, it doesn't have any information of how to get in touch with me. I'm not interested in signing anyone up. I have a huge downline. All my leaders are already in place. So it's your turn. All of you, get in touch today. Do it today. Get in touch with the person that brung you or invited you to this presentation and jump on board and just enjoy the ride. So God bless you. We love you. Have a blessed weekend. And remember to be wise about it. Like we always warn everyone, mic drop, guys. Love you.